Okay, so salute to everyone out there. Hopefully your weekend went well, just like mine. I didn't put the intro on this video, and I won't be putting intros on my videos for at least a week or two because I have a lot of videos I need to get out. So I'm going to do this format to get a bunch of videos out in a small amount of time. So what I did was just take the intro off. Now, Dr. Venus made a video to me saying, "Kid, I accept the challenge." So I will be going live with Dr. Venus next Monday. A lot of my subscribers don't want to see it. I did agree to it, but for some odd reason, which a lot of my subscribers are like, no, let me back this up. My loyal, real subscribers, they're like my best friends because my best friends or my close friends, they would tell me, "Kid, why are you going on a live stream with her?" So I understand. So if you want to see this, I mean, my real subscribers, my real supporters, if you guys want to see this live stream, let me know. If you don't want to see it, that's fine too. I'll call it off. I'll leave this one in your hands. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, when authorities arrived at that North Hollywood apartment, 27-year-old Daniel Drayton may have been moments away from committing his 8th murder. As authorities got there in time, police still say the victim in North Hollywood was raped and tortured, and tonight we have exclusive video of the moment he was taken into custody. It's an arrest cops from coast to coast were looking to pull off. Suspected serial killer Daniel Drayton taken into custody this week in North Hollywood. The arrest captured in this video obtained exclusively by Eyewitness News.
He just had a blank stare on his face.
It was shot by a man we're calling George, who didn't want his face shown on camera out of fear for his safety. He lives just feet from where police found a woman Drayton had tied up inside her apartment and, according to police, raped and then tried to kill.
When I got there, this is when I took the video. I was like, wow, crazy.
George says he had seen Drayton days earlier on the victim's balcony smoking cigarettes with a woman, not a care in the world.
I saw him with the girl outside of their balcony just talking like casually. He looked like a normal guy.
It turns out he is anything but. Police in New York were searching for Drayton for the July 17th strangling murder of 29-year-old nurse Samantha Stewart. The two met on the dating app Tinder.
I am mourning, heartbroken, in pieces.
Samantha's father outraged that police already had Drayton in custody earlier this month for choking his girlfriend, but he was released without bond. 12 days later, Drayton killed his daughter.
How could they release a monster? A monster like that to be roaming the streets, so dangerous.
The arrest making headlines in New York. On the cover of tomorrow's New York Daily News reads, "California cops nab psycho tied to murder spree." The paper reporting that cops in New York found Drayton's car at JFK Airport and were able to track him to LA, likely saving this North Hollywood woman's life. But Drayton has reportedly admitted to 6 more murders in New York, Connecticut, and California. Police now checking to see if they really happened.
It's just very scary.
Tonight, residents in the North Hollywood apartment complex where Drayton was arrested are left shaken, knowing they were so close to a possible serial killer.
My mom lives here with her husband. She's always out walking the dog, and she says, well, he wasn't interested in me, but I'm like, he could have attacked you. I mean, he's a nut, and it's very scary. I worry about my mom.
Now again, police in New York say there might be some holes in his story, that he's killed other people. They're taking nothing for granted. He was wanted for another rape in which he met a woman on a dating app. He was scheduled to be arraigned today in court, but he failed to show up, wouldn't leave his cell. If it happens again on Monday, an order has been issued for authorities to go in and forcibly remove him from his cell and make sure he shows up in court. For now, he's being held on $1.25 million bail.
27-year-old Daniel Drayton was meeting women online on dating apps like Tinder, meeting up with them, raping them, tying them up, and torturing them. So these 7 women died a very, very painful death. Raped, tied up, and tortured by this nut job. And this is why women have to be careful of the men they talk to on these dating apps. You never ever know. And so what he's doing and what he has done, well, he can't do it anymore. So what he has done is preyed on women, vulnerable women, lure them. Well, I'm not going to say lure them. They made that decision to meet up with him at a room. I do believe a lot of these took place at hotels and apartments. So they were the type of women who didn't mind going behind closed doors with strangers, men they really didn't know. And it cost them their lives. I feel for that brother. His daughter was murdered by that nut job. Now, I find it very, very interesting that the courts, the judge, the jail released him. They caught him before for beating up his girlfriend. I find it odd that men like this have multiple women to choose from. I find it very, very odd that he can be a serial killer slash rapist slash torturer slash playboy. And so the police arrested him, took him to jail, and they released him. They released this monster back on the streets. I've done a couple of stories about the judicial system releasing monsters and they commit crimes. I did a story earlier this year where I believe it was Baltimore County released a black teenager, 16 years old, and he murdered a female cop. Him and his friends were attempting or robbing a home. The police was called out. One police showed up, which happened to be a female, and she was gunned down. Okay? Now you look at what happened to Nia Wilson last week. That nut job was released by the judicial system. And then you fast forward to a couple of days ago. This nut job here, Daniel Drayton, was captured finally by police, handcuffed. Wow, they took him alive. They actually took this one alive. I find it, very, very, very odd that you have black men who are pretty much innocent, without any pistols, any weapons, and they get gunned down. But a monster like this that has admitted into killing 7 women, he got taken alive. So now he's going to hopefully get the death penalty. And they caught him. When they caught him, he had a female already strangled up and tortured. Now, they didn't go into detail of how he tortured them. I'm pretty sure down the road in the future, they will release more information, I'm sure. So, especially brothers out here with daughters, you have to show your daughters videos like this and keep them safe. Don't just, take people, word for everything. Don't just, okay, well, whatever you want to do, we can do it. And even if it costs me my life. And I'm not saying these women knew this was going to happen. Obviously not. But if they took the proper steps, they would be alive today. They would be alive today. And so you have to look at videotape like this to break it down to prevent it, right? Because you have a lot of people, especially with the incident that happened with the brother in Florida. Even though you can say the brother who was murdered, if you don't know who I'm talking about, the brother who was murdered by Michael Draker for his girlfriend parking in the handicapped spot. You had a lot of brothers that was pissed over my commentary over that, right? And What these guys don't understand is that because that brother died, because he was murdered, if it was a fist fight, a verbal altercation, then, whatever. But because he died, he was murdered. You have to break that video down and show brothers how this could have been prevented because he passed, because he died. And a lot of guys don't understand this, and that's just, oh well, oh well, we don't think alike. So because these 7 women were murdered, tortured, tied up, you have to break this video down, and especially black men who have daughters. Black men who have daughters, you should be showing your daughters this video. This is serious stuff because you have a lot of men out here like this, and they come in all shades, all colors, all backgrounds, different ethnicities. And because America would take you to jail over a traffic ticket, it's so pathetic. They'll take you to jail over a traffic ticket, or they'll take you to jail over a broken taillight. But they allow monsters like this to go free early. That stuff doesn't make any sense. And then when you say things about the judicial system, they say, oh, well, it's the best in the world. It's the best we have. But still, monsters like this get taken alive. Monsters like this get released early, then goes to jail for beating up his girlfriend, and then gets released again. Again, if I were the parents of these 7 women who were killed, I would sue the pants off the state, off the jail, off the city. Everyone is getting sued. And then he doesn't show up to his court date. After he gets arrested, finally, they said he would not come out of his cell. So he's not only a rapist, a torturer, a killer, he's a coward. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Period. So now we have a guy who was on the loose for a while from New York to North Hollywood. Wow, North Hollywood of all places. And so, yeah, this was in Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. He killed a female nurse, a black nurse in Brooklyn. Raped her, tortured her, and killed her. This is a nurse he found off of, I believe, the app Tinder. So women who are viewing this video, you have to be very, very careful of the men you meet on these apps. You look at all the black women who are being murdered by white supremacists. These guys are finding women who can't critically think, who are obviously just tired of being single. Just tired of being single, and they have resulted into meeting men off of dating apps a day or two or even hours after they talk. You have single mothers who get boyfriends and move that boyfriend in the house with their children, and he ends up raping her daughter or killing all of them because these women do not, and many refuse to properly vet men. I guess he knows what to say. He's a smooth criminal. He just knew what to say. He had the gift of gab. He was able to kill 7 women. Walk around the street smoking cigarettes like he doesn't have a care in the world after he has put so much hurt on these families. I wouldn't be surprised if the number rose to 10, 11, or 12. I wouldn't be surprised. 7 is probably a low number. Probably a very, very low number, or a bit of a low number, depending on if they find more females' bodies who have been tortured And it's connections in the cases. There are similarities. The way they were tortured, the way they were tied up, investigators link all that stuff together. So if they can link more women, if they can link, and hopefully this is, I mean, well, you'll have people say, well, kid, I'm not a supporter of the death penalty. And I understand that. However, if he was taken dead, if he, went out in a body bag, then, I mean, that would have been justice also, in my opinion. This could have been my mother, my sister, my aunts, my cousins, my close female friends. It could be anyone. Anyone. And so you have these cycles, and I've said this is going to be a very, very hot summer. This summer has been on fire. 2018 is the summer to remember. I've been talking about this. It is so much news, so much stories, so much going on, social media. You don't even need ABC 7 News to report this. I mean, if someone were to videotape it just like this guy videotaped it, he said the guy that gave ABC 7 News this video, he filmed off of his cell phone. And so you can make a video like this go viral and get the news out, and then maybe news companies, news stations will pick up on it. Okay, this is a trending topic. Maybe we need to talk about this. Right? So the FBI had it out for him already, but unfortunately they couldn't track him. The judicial system let him out early. Again, you got people going to jail over a broken taillight. You have black men who were shot down in cold blood over a broken tail light. But this murderer, this monster, this savage was released into general population where he can wreak more havoc. I did a story on gang members. I believe it was in the state of Ohio. And they killed a little girl, a stray bullet, a little black girl in the backseat of her mother's car. And the news reporter, which was a female, she did the, reporting and asked them questions. And they were showing guns and said, listen, it's just a casualty of war. It is what it is. And I'm like, why did she go back out or allow these savages back on the streets with those guns where they can wreak more havoc? So I'm going to wrap this up. I'll be in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.